My name is Megan Shaper. I'm the Food Service Director for the State College Area School District. That means that not only am I in charge of the high school cafeteria, but I'm responsible for food services for the entire school district, for all of the elementary schools, middle school, and here at the high school. I have been working for the State College Area School District for 27 years.
How many staff members work for the cafeteria at State High?
So at State High, we have 25 employees working in the food courts, helping to prepare and serve meals to students. It really is a lot of work. I think people really don't appreciate how much work it is to prepare, serve, clean up meals. We do about 1,100 lunches every day, I think about 400 breakfasts, and lots of just extra entrees, extra salads, extra side items that people buy. It's a lot of work to get ready for all of that. It takes a lot of hours, a lot of people, and the kitchen staff work really hard.
What are some food items that in the cafeteria taking the use of most plastics?
So the most items that are using plastic in the cafeteria are the grab-and-go items. So pre-made salads. We have some sandwiches that you don't have to wait in line to have made. You can just grab a turkey hoagie or an Italian hoagie. Things like the fruit and yogurt parfaits, cheese and crackers. So in the middle of the food court area, there's a refrigerated section where you can just grab items quickly, and those are pretty much mostly packaged in plastic items. If you're getting a pre-made salad that has salad dressing in it, it does have this plastic lid and plastic cup, and right now we really don't have anything that we can trade that out for.
Is it possible to replace some of them with like real plates or bowls?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I would really love students' help with that. When we were making plans for this new cafeteria, one of the things that we really wanted to do was to make the cafeteria more sustainable and use a lot less disposables, a lot less plastics. So we actually purchased regular plates, regular bowls, all kinds of silverware, and unfortunately we have lost 800 plates in 1 year. Yeah, that was really disappointing because the idea was to use a lot less disposables, but unfortunately when we were putting real plates out there, they were not being returned to us. So I don't know if they're just being thrown in the garbage cans or what's happening to them, but losing 800 plates in a year, we can't sustain that. So we did the next best thing, and we were trying to use less plastic. So the paper, the plates, and a lot of the items that we're using now are compostable. Whenever we were looking at plates, for instance, for the chef's line and for at the pizza station, we did choose to go with a paper product that is very compostable, very eco-friendly and green. We could have chosen styrofoam, we could have chosen plastic. That would have actually been a cheaper per piece price for a plate, but not nearly as eco-friendly. So we were definitely making those kind of changes, have made those kind of changes, and are committed to keep doing them. And I think with student help in choosing to use the real items when they can and not throw them away, this cafeteria could be very, very eco-friendly and green.
The new paper plates which the cafeteria uses are made of sugarcane fiber, a compostable and renewable material that are more eco-friendly than plastics.
We are paying a little bit more to buy those instead of styrofoam or plastic, but we think it's worth it that those items will go into the landfill and will compost and break down and won't be around for hundreds of years like some of the plastic items can be.
Besides using the new paper plates, the cafeteria is also in a transition of switching the plastic bowls to a new kind of compostable paper bowl for fruits.
Our plan was when we opened the kitchen that the only plastic silverware we would be using is if a student was going back into the pods to eat, like if they were going to make up a test or for any reason they weren't eating the cafeteria, they could pick up disposables. So we do offer regular stainless steel silverware and plastic silverware, so students can choose whichever one they would like. Unfortunately, what we've been finding is most students are taking plastic. They're not taking the stainless steel, and then the stainless that we are putting out, again, an awful lot of it's being thrown in the garbage can. So again, very discouraging because that costs our program a lot of money, and it's really not achieving the goal of having less things go into a landfill. I mean, I don't want plastic silverware going to a landfill. We also don't want the stainless steel silverware going in the landfill either. So again, we serve about 1,100 lunches a day, and pretty much everybody who gets a lunch gets some kind of silverware. and if not just a fork, maybe a fork and a knife. So I'd say 1 to 2 pieces of plastic silverware for every meal served is probably going into the garbage can and then going into the landfill. So I would really encourage students to choose the real stainless steel silverware that's out, and then to make sure it gets returned to the bins at the garbage station so it can be washed and reused the next day.
Does the cafeteria separate plastic trash from food trash?
Yes, we do work with the borough to compost food waste. So the borough picks up twice a week from us any compostable food trash that we have. So yes.
In general, students throw their trash to the garbage can, including food waste, paper plates, and plastic tableware. Mrs. Shaper explained that the plastic tableware which goes into the cans would not be separated from the food waste by the local government during the recycling progress. Those plastic container or tableware ended up goes to the landfill.
If it goes into the garbage can, it's going into the landfill. So out in the cafeteria, I know we have students who have started a composting activity in the cafeteria, and there are green buckets all around the cafeteria. So if it grows, it can go into composting. So really any food item can go into the composting pails. Also, the paper supplies that we are using in the cafeteria, the plates, the food boats, the cups for the fruit, all of those are compostable as well, and the borough will take those and compost. So really the only thing that can't go in the composting buckets is plastic. So the baggies on your vegetables, if you've got a pre-made salad in a plastic container, those can't go into the compost, but everything else can. So anything you put in those green buckets is going to go get composted instead of going to the landfill. I know from my own personal recycling at home, in Center County only certain plastics do recycle. There are only certain plastics that in Center County they will accept for recycling. So you are right. If you got a prepackaged salad and you put that plastic into the recycling, it's not recyclable. Even if I provided a container saying this is for that kind of plastic, here in Center County, our garbage system does not recycle those items. So it really doesn't matter if we separate or not. We don't have the resources here to recycle them. And that's not a school district thing. That's a part of our local government.
How much food waste is produced per day, approximately?
Again, it's not something we really measure per se, but I will say, relatively speaking, not very much. To make sure the last students come through the line are still able to get the same food choices that the first kids were able to have, yes, we absolutely do throw some food away because we need to make sure that everybody's able to get the choices that they wanted. But we're also very, very cost conscious, so we watch that carefully and try to keep it as tight as we can.
For future food composting, is there any plans or any projects
No, I think right now we are doing everything that we can do. We have resources available for students to compost. We have resources available, or not resources, in the school kitchen. We do compost. So there's not really, of course we're always looking for ways to improve, but I think in the area of composting, we're already doing it.
The cafeteria offered trash stations for plastic, aluminum, and food waste, but only plastic bottles are being recycled in the plastic stations. From WSCH, I'm Olivia Zhang.